Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Taylor Camille Altidor and I am a certified and registered pharmacy technician in the state of Florida. I wanted to start this YouTube channel because I get a lot of questions about my journey as a pharmacy technician and how I ended up where I am today, which is in a pretty unique situation. It's not your typical pharmacy technician position. And so I decided to start this channel just to give you guys information. If anyone's interested in becoming a pharmacy technician, I'm hoping that this channel will offer you a little assistance to starting your own journey. Now, just a few disclaimers before I go into the video. I may look down throughout this video as I am looking at my notes. I may take a sip of water because it is Florida and I am hot, even with the air conditioner on. You may hear some background noise. I have a dog and a cat. I put the dog up, so hopefully she won't be disrupting this video. However, my cat likes to bang on doors that are closed because it means he does not have access. So those are just a few disclaimers going into my videos. We're gonna jump right in. I hope that you all enjoy. So I guess I should start with why and how I became a pharmacy technician. And the story is like really long and drawn out, but I'll give you the abridged version. Long story short, I started college in 2012 with the dream of going to pharmacy school, 2 years of undergrad and 4 years of professional. When I got there, literally my first day as a college student, I knew that it was about to hit the fan. I was not comfortable. I dealt with homesickness, depression, anxiety. I was failing all of my classes. So I say all that to say, fast forward to 2016, I had to change my major from pre-pharmacy and I was going to be out of school for the whole year of 2017 because I lost my scholarships in between 2012 and 2016 and I didn't have enough money to pay the balance that was on my account, so I couldn't register for any classes. That is where my pharmacy technician journey began. Because I still had dreams of going to pharmacy school and being a pharmacist, I decided that since I was going to be out of school for a year, I was going to have to explain that gap. And I didn't want it to just be, I couldn't afford school, so I had to sit out. I got a regular retail job at like Marshall's or Target or something. I wanted to be able to make that gap meaningful to my applications and my resume. So I decided to apply for a pharmacy technician position. It was not easy, partially because people were looking for experienced pharmacy techs at the time, and also because a lot of stores preferred if you went through a pharmacy tech program. I was fortunate enough to find a store that was desperate enough, and honestly, a manager who believed in me to take me on and join their team. So technically I started in the December of 2016, but that was mainly computer-based training. My first actual day was January 6th of 2017. I started my position actually in the pharmacy and working as a pharmacy technician in training. So what a lot of people don't know is, at least in the state of Florida, most jobs don't require you to get an associate's degree or to go through a pharmacy technician training program. Most places will train you, and in that training process, they will prepare you to be registered with the state of Florida and give you the opportunity to be nationally certified. Now, if you don't know what the difference are between being registered and certified, don't worry, I have a YouTube video for that coming as well, and we would jump into a little detail on why you should get one or the other, or if both are beneficial to you. Moving forward, I worked in this position pretty much as a full-timer, even though I was part-time. I was one of two technicians, and the older technician, she had a son. She really didn't want to work as much as she was working, so she gave me a lot of her shifts. She trained me well. And if you've ever trained in a retail setting, you know that you have to hit the floor running. So I had a lot of opportunities to make mistakes, to learn, to gain experience, to talk with patients, to speak with my manager, and for the pharmacy tech at the time to give me her knowledge of being in the industry for quite a while. So I worked a lot. 6 months in, my company required, and I know a lot of places don't require this, so I was forever grateful that they did require it. My company required that I not only be registered with the state, but I also had to be nationally certified. They paid for certification and my registration, which I was really lucky because I later found out that a bunch of companies don't do that. So 6 months in, I had to be certified and registered, and I did that. I passed my exam the first time that I took it, my certification exam. And after speaking to quite a few people throughout the years of working in this industry, I realized that that exam is really not that easy for everyone. And most of the people that I work with had to take it multiple times. So what is my secret? I would make a whole YouTube video on it, but here's the truth. I worked in the industry before I took the exam, and that's what helped me. I gained all of the experience that I needed to pass that exam, not just by their passing rate, but well above their passing rate. And that's how I did it, y'all. There's no tricks, no studying endless nights. I did study, but I didn't have to overexert myself. So by the end of 2017, my store that I was working with had closed. They transferred me to another store. And because I was part-time, I had the option to float to different stores. Now, me floating gave me the opportunity to work with different pharmacists on different teams, different technicians, and deal with different types of patients. So this is another way that I gained a lot of experience. I worked in cities that were 30 minutes, 45 minutes, all the way up to 2.5 hours in different time zones of where I lived. So I gained a wide variety of experience, and I am very grateful for that. In 2017, I decided to apply for a position with another company that was 5 minutes away from my house, and that company just offered a little more stability. As the previous company I was working with, they were closing down a lot of stores. Sorry for the scratch. So I started working with this new company in 2017, and again, I was able to gain a lot of experience. So now I can put on my resume that I not only learned how to work and operate one computer system, but I had to train and operate a new computer system, and I had to learn their procedures, their policies, how they deal with customers, and how to work with their team. So I am glad to say that I fit in with that team so well. That's honestly my favorite place I have ever worked. And they really, really cared about what I was doing, what my plans were for the future. And my pharmacy manager and assistant manager groomed me to be the technician that I am today. The hardworking, customer service loving, problem solving, quick on my feet pharmacy technician that I am today. So that's a brief history of my retail experience and why I became a pharmacy technician. Now, my current position is as a clinical pharmacy technician. So what I do as a clinical pharmacy technician is, okay, wait, before we go into that, let's talk about hospital pharmacy technician. I worked as a hospital pharmacy technician for less than 6 months. I did not enjoy working as a hospital pharmacy technician, which may be a shocker because so many people prefer to work in a hospital setting. I personally like the interaction with the customers, and I feel like I have more tasks to do in a retail setting than I do in hospital setting. So when I worked in a hospital, I was a courier and I was a central technician. I never made it to the IV room. I didn't stay there long enough. I think that I don't know if I would have enjoyed working in the IV room. It's a really isolated position. And if you like quiet and don't like interacting with people, IV room is probably the way to go. So what I did as a courier is I delivered medications that were filled in the pharmacy, especially IV meds that were made by our IV technician. And I delivered them to the floors if the tubing system didn't go to that floor. And I also delivered orders. I also delivered medications that came in through the order. Okay, now let's fast forward. A clinical pharmacy technician is a position that technically isn't even on paper, because my job decided to make this position to fill a gap in their hospital process, their discharge process that they needed to be filled. It wasn't a position that was too big that a pharmacist had to do it, and a regular pharmacy technician might not have had the experience to do this position. So they came up with this position called clinical pharmacy tech. In this position, what I do is I bring attention to, and I say bring attention to because, well, you'll see why. I bring attention to patients that are potentially discharging from the hospital on high cost medications. So what does this mean? Why is this important? And why am I only bringing attention to it? So for one, I'm only bringing attention to the prescription because I'm a pharmacy technician. I cannot recommend a cheaper alternative medication to the hospitalist because I can't prescribe or send orders in for medications. Number two, why is this important? If you work in a retail setting, how many of you guys have experienced a patient coming in from the ER on a medication that is so expensive, and before you put it in your system, you already know it's going to be upwards $300, $400, $500, and you don't even understand why the hospital wrote that prescription. Now the patient can't pick it up, and they're going to be non-compliant and possibly end up back in the hospital. Well, I'm the person my hospital chose to prevent that whole process. So now I want to go into what I like to call my 5-year pharmacy technician plan. So when I decided to jump into the pharmacy industry and become a pharmacy technician, I gave myself a goal. I wanted to be a pharmacy technician for 5 years. It's not a job that pays particularly well, and it can be draining and cause early burnout. So I knew that I didn't want to be in the industry for longer than 5 years. So December 2016, 5 years from then is December of this year, 2021. Have I stuck to my 5-year plan, you may ask? Not technically. So I will still be a pharmacy technician past December of 2021. But the truth is that I positioned myself to be out of the industry very soon after. So in June of 2022, I will be graduating with my master's in healthcare services administration. Long story short, I will be a healthcare administrator by June 2022. Now, I decided to go this path because I did apply to pharmacy school, you guys. I tried. I got denied. I only applied to 2 schools, but I didn't get accepted by any of those schools. And so I had to sit down and think, my 5-year plan is coming to an end. What am I going to do? So I decided to go into healthcare administration and get my master's. I felt like this choice was a good choice because I knew it would only take me 2 years to get my master's, which would put me a little over my 5-year plan, but that was fine with me because after I graduated, I knew that I could get a higher paying job in a position that I may feel a little more comfortable in, where I may not experience the burnout that I would experience as a technician working in either retail or hospital setting. Alright, so that is the end of this week's video. If you guys enjoyed this content and are looking forward to learning so much more about being a pharmacy technician, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so that you get notified when I post a new video. And leave a comment down below on any future videos that you would like to see from this channel. If you have any questions specifically about being a pharmacy technician, go ahead and leave that comment down below as well. I would like to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.